Hi everybody, Professor Gustin here. There I am. And this is week 3. We're in human biology, and hopefully as you're getting into week 3, you're feeling a little bit more comfortable with the class, more comfortable with the routine, and it's going to start looking pretty familiar as far as the pattern. The content changes, but the pattern stays pretty much the same. So let's see, the first thing I want to comment on is I graded those week 1 labs. And remember, at the end of the lab, there was a section where you could put some background information about yourself. And I really appreciate it when people do that, because I can't tell you how many times somebody emails me or we end up talking somehow. And it's so nice for me to be aware of like what your major is, what are some of your life challenges, if you have a lot on your plate or not. And it's really come in handy. Even just knowing your nicknames, what you prefer to be called, can help us both feel comfortable right away. So I really appreciate that. After I read those, I often just like I did this time, I want it to be a live class, because it sounds like there's a lot of interesting people in class. And there's certain people in general, and all of you actually, I would love to meet. And if you ever want to stop by, every once in a while, one of the online people stops by my office to say hi. So I really appreciate that. And if you ever want to stop by, I'm always glad to see you. So, and I have several people in class that have one or more children. I have full-time people that are working full-time and have kids at home. I have people that it's it's their first year of college and they don't have a lot of other things going on, and they're still kind of getting used to college. We have a couple people in class that are repeating the class, and it's always interesting to hear people say, this time I'm just going to work harder. And I think a lot of times when people don't do well in this class, it's because it just, there was too much going on, or they just didn't pay enough attention to the class. I don't know that it's typically that it's so hard they can't do it. It just gets pushed aside. So try to stay on top of things, not get behind, not procrastinate. And I won't have to see you twice, so I won't have to have you in class twice. But I'm happy to have everybody in class. And let me give you just a little introduction to week 3. So here's your video that you found. We're going to do cells. And this is actually a really cool artsy picture of the inside of a cell. And I think it's quite beautiful. But so we're going to do cells. You have your video. What I want you to start thinking about is exam number 1. And exam number 1 is next week, week 4. So we're in week 3 this week. Exam number 1 is in week 4. But you really should be thinking about, how should I be preparing for that exam? So I put a video here on how to do well in exam number 1. Like, what can I do to study? What kind of preparation should I be doing right now? So you can watch that, and hopefully that'll give you some pointers. So meanwhile, there's a lecture study guide just like each week, and you're going to watch all these videos to fill out your lecture study guide. And a lot of this stuff, if you've ever had any biology in high school or even middle school, some people get cells and cell parts and all that. So some of this will sound familiar. It might sound a little rusty, but I think that some of this will be familiar. I don't do like every single part of the cell. In this course, what I'm trying to do is give you enough things about cells and the cell parts, the organelles, to prepare you for the rest of the course. So this is not a comprehensive overview of cells, but it gives you kind of a good idea of the foundation. One of the topics that students find to be the most challenging is osmosis. And where did I put that? I thought I had another video, but is osmosis. And so, review osmosis. There's lots of things online about helping you out with osmosis, like videos and things like that. But I think that's probably one of the most challenging topics. And especially for you, those of you going into nursing, you're really going to have to understand osmosis. And frankly, there's a lot of illnesses that are related to osmosis. And, when people are retaining fluid, and why do we have a problem when we eat too much salt and things like that. So osmosis can be really important. I was just looking ahead. So not only do we talk about osmosis in lecture, but we talk about it in lab. And I thought I made an extra little video on osmosis. I don't see it right here, but if I have it, I'm going to put it down here. If the extra video that I have, I just made it in case some folks are really struggling with osmosis and need to hear a little bit more. So I'll put that down here. But so you're going to use these videos to fill out your study guide. There's a lecture assignment. So once you've completed your study guide and you've reviewed it, try this adaptive learning lecture assignment and see how much you can remember. Then we have a lab on cells. There's a microscope in that lab, in the virtual lab. And so you're going to do those, including osmosis. There's lots of osmosis. And then there's a lab quiz. So it's pretty straightforward. It looks like I just have to find that little osmosis video that I made and put it on here. That'll be an optional video for those of you that just need a little extra help. Reach out if you need anything, and happy week 3. Take care.